Today we are joined by Meghan Kelleher of Divine Sweater. Meghan, how is it in beautiful Beantown today?
I'm currently in New York, but I'm sure it's the same type of weather, which is awful and hot and sticky and gross. So,
All right, we'll get you the little bit of the Atlanta experience up in the city. I like it. Get you
yeah,
some of that.
yeah.
Oh man. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I mean, I want to dive in, first on the onset, just with the how'd you guys get this thing going? How long's it been going? Give me this backstory there.
Yeah, so I went to college at Boston College and I was in a music club called the Music Guild. And that's kind of how I met musicians early. My sister and I were in it together and we used to play music together live and like participate in showcases and stuff. But two of my bandmates, Sean and Chris, were in a different band together. And I'd seen them at like Battle of the Bands and just like playing shows on campus and at bars around school and stuff like that. And so I just became a fan and I like knew a bunch of the words to their songs and things like that. And then they actually had a show at Great Scott, which was an amazing venue that shut down in Boston, sadly. But I was at the show and their singer didn't show up. So, yes. So Sean, my bandmate, was like, I know that you know all the words to our songs. Like, will you just sing them? And I was like, yes. So we went to an ATM, did a little rehearsal, and then I sang with them and it was super fun. And then I just kind of like stuck with those guys. The band changed a little bit after that. Like we did Battle of the Bands at BC. We did not win, sadly, but after we graduated, the band kind of shifted around and we found our two other bandmates, Alex and Steve. And then we just kind of changed the name and became Divine Sweater, and we've been going ever since.
That's awesome. I mean, what a incredible, kind of like luck, not lucky, but I mean, I guess just kind of right place, right time. You knew the words, and it kind of rest its history.
Yeah.
For
So,
for the name. I mean, I always again names are arbitrary. I had somebody tell me it's like the band names aren't good until the bands are good, or it doesn't really matter. I'm like, So, Divine Sweater. I mean, do you just have a sweater that just keeps you cozy that is the essence of the name, or what's going on there?
so there is a lucky sweater. We when I joined Sean and Chris, their band was called Small Talk, which is a great band name, but there's like so many Small Talks, and when you search that, the band's not going to come up. So
Mhm.
after that experience, we were like, we need something really unique. But Sean, my bandmate, had this sweater that was given to him by his great uncle, who was a friar at Providence College. And it had the logo of like this old family business that wasn't around anymore. But it just was a lucky sweater. Like every time he was wearing it, just like good things happened to us, either if it was like at shows or just like something with music or just something in life. So we always called it the Divine Sweater. And then when we were changing our name, we were like, let's just go with that. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome, man. Well, I mean, hopefully, it seems like you guys have been wearing the Divine Sweater recently with some of the gigs we've been playing. You've been playing, but what I guess as you guys have gotten into this game, I mean, how much has it changed, since you guys have started? What kind of things are you proud of as like the progress you guys have made, either musically or just as a band?
Yeah, I think we've made a lot of progress. And I think that that is all because like the five of us are really best friends and we really like being around each other and we want this to like happen. And I feel like we're just like doing everything we can to make it happen. But also I think a lot of our fan base was built in like the house show scene at the beginning of our time as a band in Boston. There's a great house show scene around all the colleges. So really started off there and kind of in small venues in Boston. And then we've just been lucky to be able to like kind of keep leveling up. Like last year we played the Sinclair in Boston, which was like a dream venue of mine. And we ended up selling it out, which was like incredible and like just such a good like moment for us as a band from that scene. And then this year we played Boston Calling, which was like literally the best thing of my whole life. So it's been really cool to go from like something that is really like a community based scene that is like for and run by college students to something that is like a little bit more major. So that's been really fun, but I really think a lot of it is just because we're friends and like we're all committed to this. And I'm sure you've heard people like on this talk about the situation, but it's just hard for people to stick it out sometimes. Like there's not a ton of money in it, and like it's a big commitment. And so it's just been really awesome to have four guys that are so committed and, are some of my favorite people in the world. So
That's awesome. Well, I mean, Boston Calling, I mean, you kind of mentioned it there. Like, take us through that day. I mean, you guys are, it sounds like you're grounded in that route. What did that mean to you to be able to play that and just
yeah.
have that day?
Yeah, that was like truly like the best thing that's happened to me as a musician, like maybe just in my whole life. It was really, really cool. Um, and yeah, it was also really cool to play like on the main stage with, before artists that are like some of my favorite artists ever. Like we played, on the same stage as like Hosier and Leon Bridges, and that was just like totally surreal and just really, really cool. I was super nervous. It took me like 3 months to figure out what I was going to wear. I had like 7 different outfits. I broke a glass in my kitchen before I went because I was that nervous. I was like trying to pour orange juice and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to mess up this whole thing. But it ended up going great and it was so fun. Playing was incredible. Like all my best friends were there. My whole family was there with signs, like literally everyone, like my cousins, my parents, my siblings. It was just really cool to have them all there. Same thing with the rest of my band. Like everyone's family came. And then it was just cool to be in this scene that's like built in. Like people, whether they knew us or not, like we were the only people playing at that time. So that was lucky. So that was just really cool. And then after being able to see other artists that I'm like obsessed with and some of them backstage was incredible. Like I got to be backstage for Chapel Roan, and that I don't know if I'm ever going to top that in my life because
Yeah,
it's the
I've
best.
seen some of her clips, and I watched y'all's clip. That's amazing. She once, this is my claim on her. Like before she blew up, like very very like right before like the album just come out, and she was like, yeah, I'm like, I DM'd her. I was like, hey, like, you want to come on the show? And she's like, yeah, I'm kind of busy, but like, let's see, in a couple weeks. And like, she actually responded, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not a prayer, she's thinking of this thing, but it was, that's amazing. You got to see her backstage. I haven't, I missed a couple opportunities here in Atlanta to see her, and I kind of regret it. Now, the only time I'll ever see her is in a, massive stadium. So I kind of I kick myself for that every day. But I mean, she's in a festival environment. I mean, it was amazing.
Oh yeah, it was incredible, and I literally know like all the words to her songs, so I was just like screaming, and yeah, it was the best.
Man. Well, I mean, who'd you meet? Did you meet anybody interesting backstage at those, during that, or like y'all kind of get in and play, and then kind of just,
Yeah, we did get there's like a place for all the artists, so it was cool to just like kind of be around people like obviously like Chapel Roan and then other artists that like I also just love so much who are like who weren't necessarily like headliners but who were just like incredible bands that I'm in love with. So like Always is like my favorite band. And then Blonde Shell I really love as well. So I got to be backstage for both of those, and that was like a really crazy moment for me because again I know like all the words to their songs and I just think they're the best. So that was really really cool. And then just seeing people from afar like was cool as well. Like obviously Ed Sheeran was there and like huge people like the Killers and stuff. So that was just cool to just see them. But
nice. Yeah, I do kind of get some, from y'all's music, which we have not talked about. We've been talking for 10 minutes. Like, we're gonna get into it now. But I do get some Always vibes. I did write that down whenever that kind of dream pop feel. But Deep Side, I that kind of stuck out to me as it's one of the two that you guys have just recently released. Obviously, Counterpart is the other one, so go stream that. But I want to understand from beginning to end, the creative process. How did we get that one out, and what went into it?
yeah, so Sean and I, my bandmate Sean and I, write like most of the songs together. And Sean usually writes the instrumental, and then I usually add like the melody and the lyrics. And so it was kind of one of those. Sean and I Sean had this, he has this like little synthesizer that's used on it, and so he kind of was just like playing the synthesizer part over and over again. And he had this little like fun melody that you hear in the song. And so he had some words for it, but then I like added some and changed them, but we just kind of collaborated on that, and we really just like wanted to write about the feeling of having a really big crush on someone in a way that's like maybe delusional. Like when you have a crush on someone to the point that you're like, I don't know if this is real or if this is just like all feelings. So that's kind of what it's about, is how when you have a crush like that, sometimes it like gets away from you and you like really can't tell what's going on.
Wow. Well, I mean, so again, the part of your lyrics, I mean, was that drawn from personal experience? Like, was it drawn just because hey, like these this is kind of what's in my head. Like, where do we kind of inspire from there?
Yeah, I think that we both had that experience, and I feel like it's just something that came out in the song. Like I feel like the song feels like that. It's just a kind of like dancey, vibey song, and I just feel like that's kind of what it made us both think of. It was like the like aura of the song. And then also like we recently moved to New York, and that just has been really like a crazy experience, just meeting like so many new people and like being in this place that is so new and like exciting. And so we also kind of were drawing inspiration from that, how like just the feeling of being here is like so much, and like it's kind of the same idea of just being like in love with this new exciting place. So
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it will be down below in our description. So for all our listeners, they can go stream Deep Side as well as all of the other Divine Sweater catalog. So they've got some great tunes on there. So they'll definitely go check that out. You
nice.
know, as you kind of go in, like when you create something like Deep Side, like you do you create for the live experience? Have y'all played Deep Side live? Like I guess is it one of the ones take me through a little bit of the inside baseball on your set creation there. Like what's kind of the situation?
Yeah. So we don't necessarily write to play live. I feel like we usually write songs and then we figure out how to play them live. But we've definitely been focusing a lot on having songs that like at their bones and like at their core are just like a solid good song. Like if you played it just on keys and vocals or just on guitar and vocals, like it would still be a good song without all the other stuff, like all the harmonies, all the like other parts that are added in. Like, is it just a good song at its core? And this album that we're putting out, we made sure that like every single song was like that, and that we could go to an open mic and like play it and it would still be a good song even if there was like no production on it. So that was a huge focus for us. And then also Deep Side, once we wrote it and recorded it, we like immediately started playing it live because we had so much fun playing it. And then also we just like knew it was going to be a good vibe to bring to any show. So immediately started playing it, and it has really been great for our set. Like people before it came out would like ask us about it after the set and things like that, and you could just see like the vibe of the room really light up whenever we were playing it. So that's been awesome that we can still do that live, even though it's like a different thing than the recording.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think anytime the live show, I think it was what where the rubber meets the road nowadays. Definitely with just streaming and how the music industry's changed. Like you gotta have it. You gotta have it and bring it live. You bring them in with the streams, but you keep it with the live set. So I mean, with that, like I have not had the pleasure of seeing Divine Sweater. Unfortunately, some of the bands I bring on here, I do. But what can someone expect? What do you want them leaving? What's the feeling you want them leaving with whenever you guys are done?
Yeah, I think the fact that the five of us are best friends is like really obvious, and we have all these like stupid bits that we do and like nicknames that get thrown around, and like we are like laughing with each other on stage. And I want people who come to our shows to feel that way and to feel like they leave like knowing us, and that they feel like they kind of are like part of that friendship in a way. Like that would be my ideal situation. And I also think that our songs are like, even the ones that are kind of like funny and upbeat, I want them to be emotive. Like I want someone to hear our songs live and to either like have that resonate with them, like I felt that way before, or just to like feel something new. So I feel like a combination of those two is what I would hope for. And then I would like hope that people follow us on the journey after that, like stay connected on social media and like come to other shows as well.
Speaking of social media, you transitioned for me. It was incredible. You might as well be doing what I'm doing. You guys have you guys are a powerhouse. That's the term I'm going to use for you. Cause like, I think what you put out, the content, it's so entertaining. Go follow them on Instagram. You can, I don't want to mess it up. Is it at Divine Sweater?
Yes, it's at
It's,
Divine Sweater on
yeah.
everything. Mhm.
I mean, it's it's just quality content. Now, I got to ask you about a couple particular posts.
Okay.
There's one where it's like two truths and a lie. The bandmates date each other. We have a list of bands that we hate. and we streamed for 100K or 100,000 people on Spotify. Like, I mean, tell me about the band of the hate list. I mean, like, who's on the hate list? Like, are you guys coming after people? Are you trying to, cut some cords at some shows, trying to, sabotage some stuff? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, so that one, the three that we listed, yeah, it was like having a hate list, making $100,000 a year off our streaming, and then we're all dating. Yeah, those are all lies, obviously. So we just thought it'd be funny to do like two truths and a lie, and then have them all be like obvious lies. But I think we'll do more of those, and maybe we'll throw in some truths hidden in there as well.
I like it. I like it. Well, so there is no band hate list. That's unfortunate. I
No
thought
hate list, only a love list. We
only
don't
a
hate
love list.
anyone.
I love it. I love it. Well, then within like the strategy there, kind of tell me, who is that? Is that somebody who's just like their part of their role in the band is like really they get in there and get creative, or how? Because that is a hard thing to do, and people, if everyone could do it, it'd be obvious, but no one can. Not a lot of people can. So tell me about like the strategy there. Like, how hard is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's mostly me and my bandmate Sean do all of it. And then obviously our bandmates are like in the content as well. But yeah, I just feel like it's like this fun little game to see what happens when we post things. And like, I feel like we're developing different bits, and it's funny to see what works and what doesn't, and what works on one place and not on the other, because we post everything on Reels and TikTok as well. And it's kind of like funny when you post the same thing on both, but then you see like totally different, views or likes, and like, there seems to be like no consistency there. So that's a fun little game. But I just feel like our personality is such a big part of our band, and it's such a big part of our music and like understanding our music. And I just feel like it's just been so helpful to get that across in social media, and to have like a sense of humor about it, because it's like hard, and it's hard to tell like, how other people are going to perceive it. And sometimes it's really just like shooting things into the void. So it's great to hear that you think that it's working, but either way, it's just been like a fun little experiment that we've had to have a good sense of humor about.
Yeah. And I mean, I think like that's such a big part of, I guess just being an artist today. If you're not, people who have been established, it's a great way to get a name and get in. I mean, like, I'm sitting in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if y'all have ever toured here or anything like that, but like, I mean, I know about you through that. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're reaching some corners that you may not have reached just by kind of doing it the old fashioned way. So,
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys. I wanted to make sure I shouted that out, because we do it and it's hard. And like, again, I can't figure out that thing half the time. And, I really get old quickly whenever I'm trying to figure it out. But
yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, but yeah.
But the fact y'all got committed and y'all are already, buzzing on it, it's good. So, within that, obviously you guys have, toured a fair amount, in the probably the Northeast. Like, what are some, dream tour places? Where do you want to go? What are some places you want to see, that's going to, help your, I guess, have your music take you there? Like, where do you want to go?
Yeah, so we've mostly toured in the Northeast, Canada, Midwest, and now we're gonna like go down to the Southeast a little bit as well on our next tour. And that's been awesome, and would love to like keep building all of our fan bases there. And yeah, I would love to go to the West Coast. We haven't done it yet, and I feel like it's going to be such a great time when we do, and like it's going to be such a big accomplishment to go over there, when like, a lot of our live fan base has been over here. But that's definitely a huge goal like on my horizon, is to get over, do a West Coast tour.
Yeah. Any particular venues you want to go to? Like, are you want to do the Troubadour? Like, what are anything that kind of you've seen on, seen or been to that you're like, yeah, this is where I want to play?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about any specific venues, but I definitely, obviously, like would love to play in LA. I've never even been to LA, so I think that would just be awesome. And so many bands that I love, I feel like, are based there, and so I think that would just be cool as well. But honestly, down to play anywhere over there. It's gonna be really fun when it eventually happens.
I love it. I love it. What for the album, like, we're doing a longer release here, so what can people expect for that? When can we expect it all the way out? Like, give me some details there.
Yeah, so we're putting out a few more songs over the next couple of months, but then the full album will come out on September 13th, and then we'll head out on a tour through the rest of the month in early October. promoting that. But yeah, so the whole thing will be out September 13th, and then this is the first time that we're putting out vinyl. So you
Ooh,
can pre-order our vinyl like from our website if that's something that anyone's interested in. But yeah, we have a few more songs to put out before then.
very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. What, I mean, do you have the dates already in mind? Are you coming down here? Do we need to hype up the Atlanta crew? Like,
We don't have Atlanta on it right now, but we could always add it. If you get a crew together, let me know.
I'll work on that. I'll work on that. We'll get the demand. We'll start demanding. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do we need to write the letters to though? I mean, is it just directly to you, straight up, or?
Yeah, I mean, just like rally the indie crew in Atlanta, and then let me know, and we'll make it happen.
All right, all right. I'll turn you in. I'm gonna turn you into Smithsville Bar. See we can get Juliet to reach out to you guys.
Awesome, that'd be great.
Um, but yeah, I mean that's awesome. Like we've got the dates coming up. I mean September 13th. The album release. Like, is it kind of a breath of fresh air when those things come through, or like is it hey, like we're going on tour, we're on to the next thing, like kind of getting getting the support side of things going. Like what's the feeling after you do that?
Yeah, it's a lot because we've been working on this album for like 2 years, and I feel like a lot of times people don't realize how long it takes to actually fully write, record, and like get everything ready for an album and then do like a slow release of it. So I've been listening to these songs and writing them for so long that I'm just so excited for them to be out and for other people to know them. Sometimes I like forget that some of them aren't out yet. So that's gonna be really cool. And I'm just super excited for that. And I am really excited to see how people react. And then tour, I feel like we're viewing as like a celebration of those songs and like a new chapter for us. I'm really excited to practice those songs and play them live, which we've only done with like a couple of them so far. So that's just going to be like a great celebration of the album once it's finally out.
I love it. I love it. Well, last question on the tour, and I'll quit badgering you about it. The merch. I mean, who merch styles? I don't. It's not something that's often kind of it's overlooked every now and then. But like for you guys, what's your take on that? What do you guys do? Do you have a specific vibe you want to go with the merch?
Yeah. So I make all of our merch, and I really love doing that. And I think it's really important because whenever I see a band live and I buy their merch and I wear it, it's like this whole other connection with them, and it's like that you become like a different type of fan when you have their merch and you like wear it around like a little billboard. So I feel like it's really important for us to have merch that people would want to just wear alone, whether they knew us or not. But I would hope that someone, if they connected with us, like would feel proud wearing that. So we have a couple new pieces of merch that I'm really excited about. Our vinyl that's going to come out is green, which is going to be really cool. And so the album cover too like has some green in it, and we're like in this new chapter again, like moving to New York and like just in this new phase of life, and so green is like this kind of symbol color for the album. So we made some green hats that say Divine Sweater and some green sweatshirts, and the sweaters have playing cards on them, playing cards like with my friends here and my siblings and just like my bandmates has just been like a huge part of this phase of life for some reason, just like playing card games, either like out at bars or like when we're reading for shows or just at home. So there's playing cards on the merch, and then also there's like a lot of references to playing cards on the album as well. And then we have some older merch as well. I like to do bleached tie-dye shirts, so we have those on our website. I hand make all of them. They take so long to make. So for that reason alone, if anyone is watching this and likes bleach dye, definitely order one.
I
I
love
did. I tried to do the best job I could possibly do.
I'll get the link from you. We'll link it in the bio in the bottom of this, so we can get some people on the we can get you to work on those t-shirts. I need a couple American made.
Awesome.
I love that. I love that. I mean, it definitely, I like the billboard feel that you just talked about there, and you definitely do feel a different connection when you have a shirt.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's great. Well, are you going to be wearing green during the whole tour? I mean, do you have like are you straight Christmas the whole time?
I don't know. I actually don't have a lot of green other than our merch, so maybe I need to think about that. I haven't thought about that much. One thing I'm really into right now, I don't know if you saw this on our social media, is I'm really into shirts with fish on them for some reason. I just keep finding these like awesome shirts that are like fishing lore shirts, like kind of old like, some dad used those like a million times on fishing trips and then like left it at a thrift store and I found it. And for some reason, I'm really liking those. So I'm trying to compile a couple thrifted like fishing vibe shirts. And I think that's going to be something I'm going to wear on tour for sure.
I love it. I love it. Well, when the tour comes out, check out it will be on the website. It'll be on social media. I'm assuming it'll be, everywhere where Divine Sweater is located. Well, our last, little bit here, we want to dive into Pete Peterson's party pack of questions
Nice.
with our remaining time here. So, get Pete Peterson's party pack of questions, 20 questions right in a row. And Meghan Kelleher, we're going to start right now.
All right.
Cake or pie?
I'm going pie. I'm going to go an apple pie, number 1 on the list.
All right. 4th of July. Are you a prisoner of the moment?
Wait, because of apple pie? No, I feel like I don't know. I'm not a big sweets person, and I feel like apple pie or like an apple crisp is like sweets light. It's not like very sweet. It's like a little savory. So that's the vibe that I like in a dessert, and I don't like many other desserts. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Salad or soup?
soup. Soup is my second favorite food behind mashed potatoes.
All right.
Eat a lot of soup.
Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
Sunset. I'm not a morning person at all.
All right. Would you rather hit a home run or score a touchdown?
Home run.
All right. Just hitting a bomb over the green monster. It's going to be great.
Yes.
All right. When your jam comes on at a party, are you more likely to break out the robot or the worm?
Robot. I think me doing the worm would be bad for everybody.
Okay. All right. Night in or night out? What are you having more of these days?
Night out.
Night out?
Yeah.
When you're pre-gaming the night out and you go to your Tex-Mex spot, guac or queso?
Guac. Gotta do guac.
Just guacing it. All right. Guacing in Memphis. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes. I'm gonna go blueberry pancakes. Number 1.
Very good. Very good. Coffee or tea with those blueberry pancakes?
Tea. Definitely tea.
All right. When you're sipping your tea, do you like to pet a dog or a cat better?
Either, but I'll go with dog.
She's going dogs. All right. Do you identify more as a ninja or a pirate?
Pirate. Definitely. Love the ocean.
Ocean. All right. Here we go. Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade Frost. The blue light Gatorade Frost is so
right.
important to me.
All right. We like it. Okay. Toast or bagels?
Bagels.
You just moved to New York, so I guess, we got some, your bagel sphere has expanded.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
All right. Chips or pretzels?
Chips. Chips, probably my third favorite food behind mashed potatoes and soup. So.
All right. You're heavy on the potatoes. We like it. All right.
Very Irish.
Love it. Fries or tots? Speaking of potatoes.
I'm going to go fries.
All right. All right. With your fries, are you going to watch a TV show to unwind or a movie to unwind?
Movie. Definitely a movie.
Okay. Are aliens real?
Yes, certainly.
Is
100%.
Bigfoot real?
I don't know if Bigfoot's real. I don't want to doubt it, but I just feel like it's probably a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is love at first sight real?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it can be. I don't think it has to be, but I think it can be.
Okay. And last question. Who are a couple of bands that we might not know that we ought to check out? Maybe we'll get them on the show. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, definitely Always. I feel like you probably do if you aren't going to watch an indie podcast, but definitely Always. Definitely Big Thief. Blonde Shell. Pale Hound. And then this person put out music a really long time ago and has passed, but Judy Sill is like such an underrated musician that I really love, and there's a new documentary about her life that is really, really cool that I would suggest that anyone watch and then go crazy listening to all her music.
Awesome. So we got little Big Thief. I've seen them both. They are excellent. Can vouch. Blonde Shell I'm interested in. Pale Hound I'm also interested in. So they both are great. All great picks from you. And then of course Judy Sill documentary. What network is that on so people can find it?
I honestly don't know. I think it's on a bunch of different things. I don't even remember where I watched it, but if you just Google it, like I'm pretty sure that you can watch it on like several different platforms, but really, really good.
Love it. I love it. All right. Well, you conquered the Pete Peterson party pack of questions, Meghan. Appreciate that. And of course, everybody listening, she's got the album release coming out September 13th, followed by a tour. Look for Divine Sweater. More importantly, prior to that, go follow them on social media. Go follow them on Spotify so you get the waterfall fun of all of the songs coming out. Go stream Deep Side. We dove into that today, and Meghan, it's been a real pleasure to have you in the Indie B&B today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you.